Please welcome back to our stage, Beth Hersh.
Hi. I'm really nervous and there are a lot of lights on me, so hi. When I turned 18, the first thing that I did was to go out and become a stripper. I know that really screams of like a well-adjusted childhood and no daddy issues or anything like that, but I had just found the amazing power of being a sexual object. Like, you get so much attention and like people, mostly it was the attention. And I had yet not found the drawbacks, the emotional drawbacks and pitfalls of letting people treat you like an object. At the time, do you guys know the X-Men villain Juggernaut? Like, he's this unstoppable mutant that will run through walls and buildings and safes, and the only thing that will bring him down is a psychic blast. Yeah, that was me, except with people in relationships. At the time, I thought what was going to turn me into an adult was sex. Like, some guy would stick his dick in me, and I would come, and I'd know how to do my taxes. Like, I'd get really... I'd get really good at blowjobs and be able to turn my library books in on time. And I had just found out it was super easy for me to get sex, which felt great at 18. It felt fabulous, which was good because the sex that I was getting was stunningly mediocre. And what was more embarrassing was the lengths at which I was willing to go to get this, like, truly mediocre sex. Between my freshman and sophomore year in college, I drove 800 miles to get fucked on a dirty kitchen floor by a guy I'd met once. Jude. This is where Dixie would tell me to describe Jude to you so that you can picture him for the rest of the story, but I can't really remember what he looked like. So, like, picture like a 6-foot pile of bland, like, little blurry. There he is, there's Jude. I had met Jude at a family wedding, and I hadn't had sex with him that night because I was blowing my cousin. That is mostly for shock value. I mean, technically he is my cousin, not blood related at all. Not that would have stopped 18-year-old Beth. I had met him that night, and we had kissed that first night, pre-blowjob of his friend. We had kissed that night, and I had thought it was so romantic. Because he had a girlfriend, and I had a fucked up idea of romance. So 9 months later, when he emails me and says that he's broken up with his girlfriend, I'm like, well, yes, immediately what I need to do is drive 800 miles to have sex with you. Yes. Thankfully, I talked to my friend Leah before I left, and she was like, hey, honey, how about you tell some people where you're going? How about, like, hey, I have some friends down there, just a thought, like, maybe I could go with you. We don't need to leave in the middle of the night. So Leah and I drove 12 miles together listening to crappy books on tape while I imagined Jude pounding the ability to get my oil changed on time into my cervix. We get there in the middle of the night, and I drop Leah off, and I find where Jude lives, and it's on this, like, unlit street in this dumpy house. And by Jude lives, I mean that some nice friends of Jude were letting him crash on a mat on their kitchen floor. And I, like, see him, and he's not as cute, and he doesn't smell quite as good as I remembered. But hey, I'm here, so 4 minutes later, we're fucking on the kitchen floor. My ass is slamming into the broken linoleum while I am looking at the dog fur glued with beer, like, right next to my head. And I'm just thinking about when he's done, I can take a shower and jerk off. But when he's done, he wants to go out to a party. A college party, because it's 2 in the morning and he's 26. So what we should do is go binge drinking with some 19-year-olds. So we drive across town and you can tell the place because there's like 3 passed out people on the lawn. You can smell it coming. It's just urine and vomit. And they're like, cool, looks like a great party. We go inside and same urine and vomit. And after about my 3rd glass, big red plastic glass of pure liquor, I'm like, I'm not feeling so well. I better find the one carpeted room in the house to go lay down and throw up in. And did I try to clean that up? No, I just took someone's jacket and just like put it over that. I make fun of myself for being a classy lady now, but 18-year-old Beth was a fucking treasure. So I wiped the vomit out of my mouth. I'm sure I got another giant, jug of liquor. And I went to go find Jude, who was making out with some girl in the corner. And my first thought was, oh, thank God I don't have to fuck him again. So now in the story is this big question mark. I don't know what happened. I was clearly too drunk and didn't know where I was and all of those things. But somehow, I woke up on Jude's kitchen mat on the floor when his roommate, who had a real job, and it's Tuesday, gets up to make breakfast and just kick the drunk, naked girl aside. Hi. Sorry. I went to their bathroom, threw up a few times, and got in the shower, which was cold because they'd had their hot water shut off, because no one had fucked the ability to pay their bills on time into them. So I'm freezing cold and feeling terrible, but there's a side yard and it's sunny, so I go out into the side yard and I stand in the sun shivering, and my head is on fire, and there's vomit in the back of my throat, and there's cum in my hair, and I feel this overwhelming feeling, this odd sense that can be summed up in one quick phrase. Boy, I sure did that. I have made some choices, and I have, living with the consequences of those choices. Good on me. I didn't say goodbye to Jude. I didn't leave him a note. I just went to find my friend Leo, where I had dropped her off the night before. She was staying with some friends, and I started helping them build a cedar deck. And I learned how to drink beer instead of hard liquor. I went hiking in the redwoods and skinny dipping in the ocean. Had a wonderful time. Our 3-day vacation turned into 2 weeks. And I didn't see Jude for any of it until we were getting packed up to leave, and he showed up to tell me that I was a cunt and that I had broken his heart. So about an hour out of Portland in the middle of the night, driving home, I start to think, what kind of broken person am I that I don't give a shit about hurting this guy who I'd supposedly really liked? And I wondered why I was pursuing sex so much when I didn't seem to like it. And then I stopped wondering about those things because I was 18 and it was really dark and I could only see as far as my headlights would show. Thank you. Beth Hersh.